just as a quick little preface to this video, is the gameplay footage in this video is going to incorporate some Final Fantasy 14 Heavensward stuff. So if you are playing Heavensward and you haven't at least got past the first new trial fight in the story, or if you plan on playing it but haven't got around to it, I suggest just minimizing this tab or minimizing your browser and just listening to it, because I don't want to put in spoilers. For those of you who have got by it or don't plan on playing the game or anything, you'll see it's a pretty fucking cool fight, and it's pretty fucking, I can't even think properly, both in how cool it is and just because of how fucking mad I am that I have to make this video. So moving on from the disclaimer, straight on to the video. What's up everyone, this is Q from Retro Q Gaming, and I am pissed the fuck off. Why am I pissed the fuck off? Because we have another AAA high profile broken ass fucking PC game. So what happened? Well, last night Batman Arkham Knight finally released. I'm as myself as fucking millions and thousands and billions and unquantifiable numbers of amounts of people have been really looking forward to it, and the game has been delayed several times to the point where it's coming out like eight or 9 months after it was original slated launch date. And the game releases and it's broken to fucking shit on PC. Absolutely a fucking train wreck, travesty, mess. I can't use as many adjectives to I can't even think of adjectives enough to just justify it. The game is a fucking mess. Some people were having problems even before they got into the game. Me personally, I'll get onto my issues that I ran into in a minute, but mine were further along. Okay, you have people, if you preloaded the game. Now, I personally chose not to preload the game because in the case of big games, looking at you, Grand Theft Auto 5, I have big problems decrypting massive games. They take forever, and it's usually just quicker for me to download it. So I did not preload it, but the people that did preload it, well, what they had to do is some of them were having problems decrypting it, so they would verify their own game cache. Now, verifying your own game cache, as you most likely know, it basically scans over all the cached game files that you have downloaded to make sure the integrity is fine and to make sure none of the files are broken or not fully downloaded or corrupted. Now, what a lot of people were running into is after or during, while they were verifying this cache, the entire thing would fucking delete itself. 33 gig would delete itself. A 33 gig download would just delete itself, just up out of nowhere, just in the middle of that. Now, usually if the game finds a corrupt file or something like that, it will just re-download it. Now, this is not one giant 33 gig file. Oh no, this is fucking countless amounts of tiny files, and it would delete the entire thing, and people would have to download 33 gig. So on top of re-downloading 33 gig while the Steam servers were being hammered, because obviously a lot of people were downloading it and it was hammering the Steam servers, so you weren't getting great speeds. Some people don't have great internet. Now, this isn't about me. I have good internet, but it's objective, and the point is that these people who may not have good internet get fucking schemed because of it. Some people still have data caps on how much internet usage they have. Could you imagine trying to tell one of those people that they have to download a 33 gig game again when it might put them over a limit or put them very close to a limit? You know, and we still have a week to go in a month. And this person might have to, some people pay by the megabyte, some people pay by the 100 meg, 500 meg, gigabyte, once they go over their limit. You try telling that to those people. I wouldn't blame them if they were pissed off. I'm pissed off for them. It's that just fucking shit. But that's pretty much some of the basic issues. That's even before the game launches. Now, the game does launch, okay? In my case, the game launches, yes, that's fine. I go in, the first time I turn it on, I know with my current hardware, I am not going to hit Ultra. I know I'm not going to hit Ultra because I'm below the Ultra requirement. I'm above the recommended requirement. So what I do is, for the lulz, I go in and I decide I'm going to just throw everything on to max, or at least the highest my PC will allow. Because in the case of Batman, if you have stuff that is beyond the capabilities of your graphics card, specifically in the video RAM usage, the options just will not show in the menu. So I turned everything that was available to me onto max, hit the in-game PC benchmark, which it was nice that I thought they had actually, but that's a whole different thing. So I turned that on. I got about the performance I was expecting. I thought, okay, the game most likely works fine, and it's just my hardware, so that's to be expected. So what do? I turn off all the GameWorks stuff, because I was suspecting that my graphics card it's nearly 3 years old at this point. It was top of the line at the time, and it's still relatively powerful, but I wasn't expecting to run any of the GameWorks stuff on it. So I turn off all the GameWorks stuff on it, leave everything else on the maximum setting that I can afford. Turn on the benchmark. I'm lucky to get 30 to 40 frames per second. Okay, not too bad. I was partially expecting something like this to happen. Went back and tweaked some of the settings. Dropped some of the settings while I was tweaking them. Got worse results. It's like, okay, hang on, how does this work? I'm using lower settings and getting worse results. Now, in situations like this, what I do is I drop all the settings to minimum just to test it out, run the benchmark. I get higher FPS with maximum settings, excluding the GameWorks stuff, than I do with the lowest settings. Now, that to me is a straight indicator that the game is broken as fuck. Now, by then, this was in the middle of the night last night, shortly after release at midnight, so by then there was no huge amount of information. The only stuff we had going around was unhappy people on the Steam forums and on other forums just complaining that they had it. They were having all sorts of problems with it. And here's another thing, actually. No, wait, 1 second. There's no common denominator about what's broken in it. It's happening. There's all sorts of performance issues happening with people with Intel CPUs and NVIDIA GPUs, Intel CPUs and AMD GPUs, AMD GPUs and AMD CPUs, AMD CPUs and NVIDIA GPUs. There's all sorts of combinations. Operating systems, RAM types, RAM speeds. It's all completely variable, and it's a fucking mess. Now, moving on to the next part real quick that I almost talked about a second ago. This is a PC game with a PC which can use ridiculous amounts of high-end hardware to get ridiculous high amounts of detail, settings, effects, frame rates, resolutions, except in Batman Arkham Origins, because a fucking PC game, a AAA PC game in 2015 is fucking capped at 30 fucking frames a second. I realize I'm saying fuck a lot. Why? Because I'm fucking pissed off at all this bullshit, especially because it's directly affecting me as well. So it's fucking ridiculous. Rocksteady, I expected better from you. Now, people are going to hear that and just say, well, it wasn't Rocksteady. Now, how come in the entire run-up to the game, they never once mentioned that they outsourced the development of the PC version to, let's see, there's, everyone's favorite studio is fucking Iron Galaxy. Iron Galaxy, the studio who needs practically no introduction. If I was to just show a picture of Dark Void, everyone would understand. They make awful games. I believe they have 2 decent ports to their name, and everything else was absolutely dire. But it's absolutely no surprise that this company has given us a piece of shit. Now, what I find even funnier is that when Rocksteady did announce it today, they did not specify their developer. They were so embarrassed about hiring Iron Galaxy, which I don't blame them for being embarrassed. I blame them for hiring them. I don't blame them for being embarrassed to cover it up. But in all the game's credits and code and all that shit, it specifically lists PC version done by, oh look, Iron Galaxy. So there's no surprise there. Rocksteady, fuck you. I loved Arkham Asylum. I loved Arkham City. I realized Arkham Origins was not done by Rocksteady, and it was severely noticeable, and I'm going to get onto another little bit about that now in a second as well. And I wanted to love Arkham Knight. I was all set to love Arkham Knight. I don't doubt that when I do get around to it, the gameplay, and once it's fixed and all that, or it better fucking get fixed, because there's another point I'll touch on now in a second, but it better fucking get fixed. Once it is fixed, or hopefully gets fixed, I've no doubt that the quality of the game is going to be fantastic, and the graphics are going to be fantastic. It's going to be just a brilliant game. I love Batman. I love the Rocksteady Batman games. And I love so many of the voice actors, the characters, the art direction. There's just so much about it that I love in general. Now, let's go back to something I just touched on a second ago that I'm gonna talk about as well real quick. I personally only played Batman Arkham Oranges. Fucking hell. I was reading Eurogamer earlier, and they called it Arkham Oranges, and now it's stuck in my head. I only played Arkham Origins last year for the first time. I wasn't going to play it at all, because it wasn't a Rocksteady game, but eventually I saw it for sale for €6, so I said, fuck it, I'll buy it. I downloaded it, turned it on max, started playing it. Okay, it was, the combat wasn't as tight. It felt like it was half-assed and copied, which makes perfect sense considering that it was done by just a spin-off Warner Brothers studio, just so people wouldn't forget about Batman in the time with the transition between console generations and Rocksteady were developing a new Batman game. And then I was grappling around the city, and this huge city area, it was about probably 10% of the entire map. I could just grapple through. I could grapple through buildings. I couldn't land on any of the buildings. I couldn't land on any of the bridges. I couldn't land on the road. I couldn't do anything like that in this approximately 10% chunk of the city. I would actually fall through the map, and just fall to my death. There was a bunch of side quests I couldn't complete because they were in buildings in that section of the map. And I tried to go there, and because I couldn't, because I need to land and go in a door, which would bring me to a new area. Couldn't do it because I couldn't land on the building. There's no way to open the door unless you land on the building. There's so many things. I looked around the internet. Tons, if not, I never actually found a person that said that they weren't having that problem. So it speaks volumes. And on top of that, I think I mentioned this in a previous video a long time ago as well, but I remember being pissed off at it at the time it released, even though it didn't personally affect me at the time. But when I did read it, I was just massively pissed off because it's fucking bullshit. So again, because of Arkham Origins, which was developed by one of the Warner Brothers studios, what they did is they knew there was game-breaking glitches. They knew the game was a bug-riddled mess. But what they did is they said, fuck the patches, fuck fixing all that shit, let's focus on DLC to get more money. How do I know this? Well, I have an exact quote here from Warner Brothers Games at the time of Arkham Origins. Arkham Origin. Yeah, Origins. Here's exactly what it has to say. Hi all, the team is currently working hard on the upcoming story DLC, and there are currently no plans for releasing another patch to address the issues that have been reported on the forums. If we do move forward with creating a new patch, it will try to address the progression blocking bugs for players, not the minor glitches that do not prevent one from continuing to play. The issues that are not progression blockers will unfortunately no longer be addressed. We apologize for any inconvenience this has caused for some of you and want to thank you for having been patient. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. That's all I can say. Abandoning a fucking game like that. Oh, it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating that they would do just to fucking do DLC. Now, mind you, as far as I know, I don't remember the exact dates on the patches, but as far as I know, there has never been an Arkham Origins patch since that thing. I'm obviously having issues. Now, that didn't prevent me from finishing the game. It fucking prevented me from enjoying the game, I'll tell you that much. But one of my friends who plays it on the 360, I believe he plays it on the 360, I can't remember. He bought it on 360 at the time, but I think he bought a PC copy, but I think he just played it on 360. He can't finish the game. Why can he not finish the game? There's a specific vent, an air vent, he has to grapple into. You can't jump up on it because it's up too high. He has to grapple into it, and grapple up, grab onto the ledge, and then climb in and go to the next area. He can't do that because for some reason the recognition, whatever you want to call it, it just won't happen. He can't grapple it. He will attach onto it. It's like he can't grab onto the bottom and pull himself in. It forces him to glitch and pull onto the top of it, and then he tries to pull himself up onto it. What happens? Boom! He goes into the wall, falls through, drops dead under the map. And there's no workaround that he's managed to do. And I don't blame him for being done with Arkham Orange. I swear to God, Eurogamer, I'm going to kill you. Arkham Origins, he's done with at this point, and I don't fucking blame him. That's all I can say, because it's fucking ridiculous. So let's get back to this. Fix your fucking game. Now, do I think it'll be fixed? Hopefully. Do I think it will be 100% fixed? Not a fucking chance. Why do I think that? Well, regardless of what Rocksteady have to do with it and how much they helped the shitty Iron Galaxy to fix their child that they should have just fucking done with it in the first place, this is all orchestrated from the top by Warner Brothers Games, who, as I feel like I've illustrated in this video, are just a bunch of fucking money-hungry cunts, and that's all I can say. They don't give a fuck about anything else. Maybe Rocksteady do. I'm sure Rocksteady give considerable amount of fucks about the people that enjoy their games, because they obviously put a lot of heart and thought and quality and soul into the quality of their games, and it does reflect that usually. Now, on the other hand, when you have some multi-billion-dollar corporation pulling your strings about, your big fat wages, yeah, that's a whole different thing. You're not gonna bite the hand that feeds you in that case. But it's just bullshit, and I'm just so fucking pissed off with it at this point. I have since uninstalled Batman Arkham Knight. I'll install it in about 6 months when it gets fixed. That's all I can. Actually, I won't even promise that. I'll install it when I get my new PC, which will have like fucking SLI 980s and some sort of high-end 4th or 5th gen Intel. And hopefully, I can get some semblance of a decent frame rate at a relatively fixed game is all I can say. Because this is fucking bullshit. Everyone, please, I urge you, don't buy Warner Brothers shit anymore, regardless of how much you love it, especially on PC. There's been so many reports of how they fucked up Mortal Kombat X on the PC as well. I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole other spiel I'll be going on for the next fucking 20 minutes. So, it's a complete fuck up. It's been a complete fuck up. Everyone, say fuck you to this company. I know Rocksteady is no longer making any more Batman games, at least in the Arkham trilogy. So maybe, hopefully, they will break away from Warner Brothers games after the fucking travesty and negative publicity. I can't English today. My brain is just, my thoughts are everywhere. So please, everyone, do that. Because this shit has gone on too far, especially with cancelling the special editions and cancelling the Batmobile edition less than a week before launch and delaying the limited Memorial edition less than a week before launch. That got delayed for about a month because my one's not going to be here till June 14th now. So fuck them. That's all I can say. Let me know in the comment section below anyway, because I'm just going to keep ranting for the next fucking 2 hours if I don't. So let me know in the comment section below your opinion on the whole travesty that is just Warner Brothers and Arkham Knight and Arkham Origins. I almost had to stop and think about that for a second. Let me know about just anything related to all that shit anymore, because this is just bollocks. That's all I can say anyway. So let me know in that comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you in the rest of the videos in my channel. And yes, I did loop the fight a couple of times because this went on way longer than expected. Hopefully you enjoyed the footage if you didn't play Final Fantasy, or if you did, it's just a badass looking fight. Thanks for watching. See you on the rest of the videos in my channel. Fuck you, Warner Brothers.